Welcome to another episode of the Blitz. I'll be your host today, Bryan Greer, and I will be going over and previewing the NBA's Eastern Conference and also giving my prediction for who will be the NBA's MVP. Now, as we all know, the Eastern Conference is ruled and reigned by the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I do not see that really changing this year. Starting off with them, we all know LeBron James, the best player in the league, leading that team. Also, coming back from injury, Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving, who got hurt last year in the Eastern Conference Finals and also in the NBA Finals, Kyrie Irving getting injured. Both of those guys coming back this year. Kyrie Irving won't be able to start the year. I think Kevin Love will be starting the year, but we do know that both of those guys, when they're healthy, that is the best big three in the NBA, and they can just put up a lot of points. And also, that Kyrie Irving is a very solid defender along with LeBron James. Kevin Love, not so much, but like I say, he's got great distance, can shoot the three, great rebounder, good in the post. So the Cleveland Cavaliers, I think they're going to be just fine this year, but they do need to get back Tristan Thompson. Still in contract negotiations with the Cavaliers, even in the preseason. Might miss actually a month of the season or two because he does want max money, and I eventually think they'll come to some kind of compromise on that, and he will be a part of the Cavaliers this year. Also for the Cavaliers, a player that not many people saw really coming out this last year and surprised a lot of people, especially in the finals, was Timothy Mozgov, the center for the Cavaliers, who I believe is really come on the scene and is one of the top 5 NBA centers now that the center is no longer really a prominent position. This guy can really block shots, has great post work, can run the floor, really has become a centerpiece for that team. And in the finals, I believe they would have got swept if it was not for him having a couple of big games against the Golden State Warriors. So, like I said, the Cavs, I think with another year, in his second year for coach, they'll be fine and their chemistry will be good as long as they do not have any injuries and any kind of season-ending injuries like they did last year. Now, moving on to another contender for the Eastern Conference was the runners-up in the Eastern Conference, Atlanta Hawks. This team came out of nowhere last year, winning 60 games, getting the number 1 seed. Great coach of the year, Mike Budenholzer. Team led by Jeff Teague, Paul Millsap, Al Horford, all three of those guys, another good big three. You have Kyle Korver, assassin from three-point range, can do it all when it comes to shooting. This team right here was very solid last year. Great defense, can get up and down the floor, really run. Jeff Teague really solidifying himself, making the all-star team last year along with Al Horford and Paul Millsap and Kyle Korver. All 4 of those guys making it. Really looking forward to see if this team is for real this year. I do think they are for real. A lot of people think they're going to have a backslide. I do not. I think that Jeff Teague will only get better. He has to. That's the thing I think that the Atlanta Hawks are missing is a true leader. And I believe Jeff Teague is going to take that next step and become the leader of this team and the go-to guy in the crunch time. Unfortunately, off-the-court issues with Thabo Sefolosha. Got him hurt in the Eastern Conference Finals. So their top defender that he is was not able to guard LeBron James and was a major factor in the Hawks not being able to make the finals. And I think if he comes back healthy, this team is going to be right back there this year and really tough. Now, they did lose Pedro Antich to overseas. He went back home to play. That guy was very good off the bench for them last year, and I really think that he was an up-and-coming player, but hey, he wanted to go back home, can't argue with that. So, see who steps up at the center position behind Al Horford this year. Really looking forward to seeing how that goes. And also with this team is Dennis Schrader, the young point guard, take that next step to alleviate Jeff Teague. He is very good off the bench as a 6-man and has a lot of great moves. So I really am looking forward to seeing how he looks for the Atlanta Hawks. Now, moving on to another team that I think is going to be a solid contender is the Chicago Bulls. As we all know, there was a lot of turmoil last year. Derrick Rose being injured, Jimmy Butler in and out of the lineup. You had Joakim Noah was injured a lot of the year playing on one foot. Now that all those guys are healthy, this team really has no excuses. They fired Tom, which I did not agree with, who took the fall last year for them not making the finals, and now got Fred Hoiberg, the former Iowa State coach, his first coaching job in the NBA. He has got to win. They are title or bust in Chicago, and this has got to be it. They are fully stacked. You've got Mirotic, the great three-pointer rookie last year, who just could just shoot from anywhere. It's got to be the year for the Chicago Bulls, because you have a lot of controversy already in the preseason. Derrick Rose talking about his contract. You have Jimmy Butler, rumored not to get along with Derrick Rose. Paul Gasol's getting up there in age. Joakim Noah is going to have a bounce back year. So this team right here, I think, really has to have a solid year and at least make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, if not the Finals, for them to have a successful year, because this team is. And Derrick Rose, he can't get hurt. He has to have a healthy year in order to prove that he is worth a contract extension with Chicago or the money he wants in free agency. So this team, I think, is arguably the most interesting team in the NBA this year. It could be either a very great year or a very poor year based on injuries and the chemistry that they have on and off the court. So yeah, Fred Hoiberg, he went right into the frying pan being the coach of the Chicago Bulls. So that's going to be a very interesting situation. Now, the team that I think is going to make the biggest leap this year is the Milwaukee Bucks, coached by Jason Kidd. This team over the last couple of years has really revamped. They got one of the biggest free agents in the offseason, center Greg Monroe from the Detroit Pistons. This guy, I think, is going to make them so much tougher on defense. And I'm really forward to seeing him finally in a system that benefits his strengths, which is blocking shots, great rebounder, post work. They need a post man. I think he will give that to them. They have Jabari Parker, the phenom rookie, coming back off of injury this year. You've got Giannis Antetokounmpo coming back too, and that guy is a freak. They call him the Greek Freak for one reason, because he can get up and down the court on both ends and just put on a show. And this guy is probably, outside of Anthony Davis, the most versatile player in the NBA. He can just take it inside, outside, dunk over you. Incredible defense. His length is freakish, how he can just do anything you need him to do. The question mark, I think, on this team, though, is Michael Carter Williams, the point guard. Too many turnovers, too many indecisive plays last year. He has to grow up and really solidify the point guard position for the Milwaukee Bucks and make that team a really, really contender, because at every other position, they're stacked. And I think this team is on pace to have a very good year. I can see them finishing anywhere around third or fourth in the Eastern Conference because of all the talent they have. And if they stay healthy, and we know Jason Kidd is a good coach, a very good coach. So really looking forward to seeing if the Milwaukee Bucks take that next step this year. Now, teams that have to make a little bit more of a move is, first off, the Washington Wizards. They have to. John Wall, Bradley Beal have to become the dynamic duo that we all know they can become. Bradley Beal's got to stay healthy, got to become a very consistent scorer. Instead of having great games, poor games, good game, mediocre game, great game, he's got to be great. Because now that Paul Pierce, who's a big factor, went to the Los Angeles Clippers this year, is no longer there, they don't have him to fall back on, and him and John Wall are going to have to grow up, really lead this team, and take it to title contender status, because we know John Wall is a top 3 point guard when he gets it going. His speed is dynamic, the way he can just run the floor and also shoot now. He's really improved. Really looking forward to seeing if he becomes the solidified leader of that team. Also down low, you have Nene Hilario. You have also Marcin Gortat. Can those two guys solidify the paint and bring the toughness to that team that they're known for? Also, Otto Porter, Does he improve on last year? A lot of people shocked how good he looked last year, including me. I didn't think Otto Porter was really going to be as good as he looked last year. So that guy needs to become a threat at the small forward position for the Washington Wizards so they can keep up their scoring. Now, the biggest, I think, question for the Wizards is their coaching. Randy Whitman. Can Randy Whitman just let these guys play in a free-flowing offense and just coach the defensive end? He always seems to be very confusing when it comes to coaching, and the moves he makes are just over-coaching. These guys are athletic, get up and down the court. They should be no less than a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference with all the talent they have. But again, chemistry and injury seems to always be a problem with the Washington Wizards. Now, going down a little bit lower totem pole, I want to see how the Orlando Magic do this year. They have the outstanding breakout season center, actually, Nikola Vujacic, who really looked good last year, putting up double-doubles every night almost. Incredible player. Really looking forward to seeing what he does. Also, Aaron Gordon coming back off an injury, the power forward in his rookie season. He looked good the few games he did play last year. Really looking forward to seeing, does he really get his game under him and become a consistent scorer and also rebounder. He's got to improve his rebounding. Also, that team does have a new coach. I think Jacques Vaughn got a real raw deal last year with the actually get a raw deal with Orlando management. Hope he really, hope Orlando got the right coach down in place because they've got to start improving. It seems like every year they have players. They got Tobias Harris. They've got guys who can really play. They've got Victor Oladipo. Oladipo, it is time for him to become the leader of that team along with Vujacic. Those two guys have got to lead that team. Really looking forward to seeing if that team becomes a playoff contender because they can no longer just be settling for 20-win seasons. They've got to become contenders. Also, another team that is really, I think, going to make some noise is the Miami Heat. They got Justice Winslow to drop to them in the draft. Great two-way player from Duke. That rookie, if he stays healthy, is going to help them so much on the defensive end. He is a lockdown defender at shooting guard, can run the floor. Also, from last year, Chris Bosh, good to see him back after a health scare, and I think if he is healthy, they're going to be very, very solid along with Luau Day, of course, Dwayne Wade. What are you going to get Dwayne Wade? He's going to play 82 games or 28 games this year. He has got to be healthy and in shape for them. If they stay healthy and they really keep it together, they're going to be a very tough team. They have the breakout player of the year, in my opinion, Hassan Whiteside at center. If he stays healthy, that team is going to be stacked. So that is one team that is very much my sleeper in the Eastern Conference. And just looking forward to seeing how they really do coming out of there. So, also, the last team that I do have coming out of the Eastern Conference as a sleeper is the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors looked very good last year to start the season. Then midway through the season, start having a little bit of a lull, and the playoffs just flamed out. Kyle Lowry, very good all the way through the All-Star break, but second half of the season, the playoffs just flamed out. Looked horrible in the playoffs. DeMar DeRozan, is this guy going to finally become a consistent player and a breakout player? He seems to have all the skills to do that, but seems like every year he just hits that ceiling and doesn't come through. So he's got to be the leader of this team. Kyle Lowry is a good player, but he cannot be the leader. It has to be DeMar DeRozan. Got to be him. You've got Valanciunas, the center they re-signed. He's got to take that next step this year and really become an anchor down low along with Amir Johnson. Those two guys have got to anchor the paint. They've got to show some toughness. Dwayne Casey, he is on the hot seat. This is his third year. They've got to show some improvement and win in the playoffs. They've had home court advantage and loss back-to-back years in the playoffs, so really looking forward to seeing if the Toronto Raptors are going to make that next step, because if they don't, I think Dwayne Casey could be gone this year. So, with that being said, coming out of the Eastern Conference, I have, what a surprise, the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think they're on a mission this year. They know that LeBron now in his 30s doesn't have many years left. Kevin Love, now signed to a long-term deal. You have Kyrie Irving. Those guys, I think, are going to carry this team once again. I just don't see anybody else in the Eastern Conference. Besides, maybe the Atlanta Hawks be able to contend with them. Just the chemistry with the Cleveland Cavaliers is incredible, and they have a very good coach. So I see them coming out of the Eastern Conference and being Eastern Conference champs once again. So with that being said, really, what's your guys' comments about that? And also, want to give you guys my prediction on NBA MVP. You know we have the usual suspects of LeBron James, Kevin Durant. You can go with Russell Westbrook. Of course, the reigning MVP, Steph Curry, who's an insane shooter. These guys are there, but I believe this year it is the year of Anthony Davis. I have him as my MVP of the New Orleans Pelicans. In the preseason, he's averaging a point a game. Or actually a point a minute. Let me repeat that since I did a horrible job of setting that up. A point a minute in the preseason. Do it all. He can shoot outside, down low, dominate on the boards, and block shots. He is just going to, I think, lead the Pelicans. And I see him as the MVP this year as long as he stays healthy. He is just rising above everybody. And is close to becoming the best player in the league, in my opinion. So, really want to hear your guys' comments about my pick on Anthony Davis being the MVP of the league this year. What is your guys' comments, and what is your guys' thoughts on who's going to be the NBA MVP, and also who is going to come out of the Eastern Conference to represent them in the NBA Finals? So with that being said, please guys check out the social media links in the description. And as always, until the next episode of Blitz, please do subscribe to Unrivaled Multimedia and take it easy.